Today we're going to start learning about the landscape of New Jersey. Let's take a look at some of our vocabulary words. Landforms, geography, border, coast, wetland. These are some of the words you should look out for in our text. The big picture. Compared to other states, New Jersey is not very big. In fact, it is the fifth smallest state in the United States. At its widest point, New Jersey stretches only 65 miles across. A car could travel this distance in a little more than an hour. Within its small area, however, New Jersey packs a rich variety of landforms. Landforms are the shapes that make up Earth's surface. Mountains, hills, and plains are all examples of landforms. New Jersey has plenty of each, ranging from the mountains of the Northwest to the plains along the Atlantic Ocean in the Southeast. New Jersey is more than just its landforms. It is also home to thousands of different kinds of plants and animals and over 8 million people. One of the best ways to describe our state is to talk about its geography. Geography is the study of Earth and the way people, plants, and animals live on it and use it. In this lesson, you will begin to read about New Jersey's geography. Finding New Jersey. Suppose you wanted to tell a pen pal in another country about the location of our state. What would you say? You could start by asking your friend to look at a map of North America. The map shows that New Jersey is part of the United States and that it shares a border with 3 other states. A border is a line people agree on to separate one place from another. To the east of our state lies the Atlantic Ocean. The land that lies along an ocean is known as a coast. Cool ocean breezes make our state's coast a favorite spot for people to go on their summer vacations. Look at the map on this page. It shows New Jersey in more detail than a map of North America would. You can use it to give your friend a better idea of our state's location. Which state borders New Jersey to the west? What body of water forms this border? What other state shares a border with New Jersey? So let's take a look. Which state borders New Jersey to the west? If you said Pennsylvania, you were correct. What body of water forms this border? So as you can tell, along the border is the Delaware River. And what other state shares a border with New Jersey? What do you think? If you said New York, you were correct. A trip around our state. You probably never thought that you could learn about the geography of our state by taking a drive across it. One summer day, Sarah Garner and her grandmother did just that. Their trip began at High Point State Park. How do you think High Point got its name? If you guessed that it is the highest point in our state, you would be right. From its peak, you can see all the way into Pennsylvania and New York. From High Point, Sarah and her grandmother headed southwest. After about an hour, they arrived at the Delaware Water Gap National Recreation Area. Here, over the course of millions of years, the Delaware River cut a passage or gap through the Kittatinny Ridge. Next, Sarah and her grandmother drove eastward to the Great Swamp. A swamp is a type of wetland. A wetland is an area that is covered by water at least part of the year. The Great Swamp was formed when a large lake 30 miles long and 10 miles wide began to dry up over 10,000 years ago. It has not finished drying up yet. At Sandy Hook, Sarah and her grandmother stood on the beach and looked out at the Atlantic Ocean. How do you think this peninsula got its name? The shoreline of Sandy Hook, like the rest of our state's coast, is always changing. Ocean waves wash sand away in one place and pile it up in other places. South to the land of pines. Turning south, Sarah and her grandmother drove through a mostly flat area. Millions of years ago, this area of plains was on the bottom of the ocean. One feature of these plains is a large area of pine tree forest known as the pinelands. Hundreds of years ago, people began burning some of these forests to create open areas for hunting and farming. Pine trees, which thrive in open space and sandy soil, grew up in many of these places. Today, there are fewer fires and other trees, such as oaks and maples, grow up in the shade and thicker soil of the pine forests. And this is a picture of the Delaware Water Gap, the walls of which soar over 1,000 feet high. The last stop on the trip was Cape May. Cape May was the first place in our country built just so people could visit it on their vacations. The people of Cape May like to say that once visitors get sand in their shoes at Cape May, they will never leave. Sarah did not get sand in her shoes, but her tour of our state had to come to an end. She gave her grandmother a big hug and said, "I never knew there was so much to see in New Jersey." Why it matters. New Jersey has a variety of landforms, including mountains, hills, and plains. Our state's geography has shaped the ways people have used the land for many thousands of years. In the lessons to come, you will read more about how this all happened and how special our state is.